I had a threesome. Then found out one of them was my long-lost brother. I thought I was about to have the most exciting night of my life. A wild, no-strings-attached experience with two strangers. But what started as a thrilling encounter turned into my worst nightmare when I found out who one of them really was. My long-lost brother. Face screaming in fear. Betrayal. Shock. Horror. This is the story of how my entire world came crashing down in one night. I had just gone through a terrible breakup. After catching my boyfriend cheating on me with my best friend, I was done with love, trust, and relationships. I just wanted to feel alive again. That's when my best friend, yes, a different one, convinced me to go out for a night of fun. No commitments, no regrets. We ended up at a high-end lounge, filled with attractive, confident people who exuded pure temptation. That's when I met him. Let's call him Jake. Tall, dark, intense eyes that held secrets I wanted to unravel. He was magnetic, the kind of guy who could make you forget your own name. And then there was Liam, his friend. Charming, smooth, with a dangerous smile that promised nothing but trouble. Before I knew it, the three of us were flirting, laughing, drinking. And then, one of them whispered something in my ear that made my stomach do a flip. "Why don't we take this somewhere more private?" I wasn't thinking straight. Maybe it was the alcohol. Maybe it was my heartbreak. Maybe it was the thrill of doing something so reckless. I said yes. Back at their luxury apartment, things escalated fast. The chemistry was undeniable. The air thick with tension. It was everything I thought I wanted. Passionate, exciting, completely freeing. I let go of my past, my heartbreak, and for a few hours, I was just in the moment. I had no idea my entire life was about to be destroyed. The horrifying truth. The next morning, I woke up with a pounding headache and a sense of unease. Something felt off. Jake was already up, making coffee, completely relaxed. But Liam, he was sitting on the edge of the bed, staring at me with this strange look. Like he wanted to say something but couldn't find the words. That's when he asked me something that sent chills down my spine. "What's your last name?" I laughed, thinking it was a weird question. But when I told him, his face went completely pale. Then, he asked something even stranger. "Who are your parents?" I still didn't get it. I gave him their names, and that's when he stood up so fast he nearly fell over. No. 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 This can't be happening. Jake turned to him, confused. "Dude, what's wrong?" And then Liam said something that made my stomach drop. "She's my sister." At first, I thought it was a sick joke. A twisted prank. But the look in Liam's eyes told me he wasn't lying. He started asking me more questions. Where I grew up, what hospital I was born in, details about my childhood. And that's when the horrifying pieces started fitting together. Liam had been adopted at birth. His parents had told him bits and pieces about his real family over the years, but he never thought he'd actually meet them. Especially not like this. We sat in stunned silence, the room suddenly suffocating. My heart was pounding so hard I thought I might pass out. I had just slept with my own brother. Jake was in complete shock, looking between us like he couldn't believe what he was hearing. "Wait. You two are related?" Liam's hands were shaking. "We have the same biological parents. This is a nightmare." I felt like I was going to be sick. My mind was racing. This couldn't be real. But the truth was undeniable. The aftermath. I ran out of that apartment, barely able to breathe. I sat in my car, my hands gripping the steering wheel so tight my knuckles turned white. I wanted to scream. I wanted to undo everything. But I couldn't. That night haunted me for weeks. I didn't tell anyone. Not even my closest friends. I couldn't bear the shame, the horror, the guilt. But Liam, he couldn't keep it to himself. He told his adoptive parents, who later confirmed everything. We really were siblings. I blocked his number. I cut off all contact. I didn't know how to move forward from something so unthinkable. Months later, Liam reached out one last time. He told me that despite everything, he didn't blame me. Neither of us knew. Neither of us could have ever imagined this nightmare would happen. But he needed closure. He was going to therapy. He wanted to process what had happened, to make peace with it. And he wanted me to do the same. So that's what I did. It took a long time to accept what had happened, to stop replaying that night over and over in my head. But eventually, I realized, I couldn't keep punishing myself. It was a mistake. A terrible, tragic mistake. But it didn't define me. And after all the pain, all the trauma, I finally let it go. I still live with the weight of that night, but I refuse to let it ruin my life. I know the truth now. And I know one thing for sure. Sometimes, the past has a way of catching up with you in the most devastating ways. Watch until the end for the full story. What would you have done in my situation? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more shocking real-life stories.